Now, as we know, being single can be tough at any time of the year, but particularly after the year we've had, thank you very much, 2020. If you're feeling a little bit down about being single or a little bit demotivated about the future of dating, I'm really hoping that this session is going to help you out, to give you some motivation and some inspiration to make 2021, that's right, the year that we're all waiting for, as great and as interesting as possible. Now, we all know that being single can be the best of times, but it can also be a really tough time. And I think I can safely say that no matter what positive spin we put on this, 2020 has been a very challenging year for everybody around there, personally, financially. So if you've had a really, really tough time, hopefully, as I said, this broadcast is all about encouraging you to see what action you can take in the new year that's going to make you feel better. So we have a really interesting format tonight. So the first section we're going to look at is I'm actually going to be looking entirely at mindset. So our first chapter is all about how you can feel good being single. And as I said, being single can feel amazing, but I think it's all about getting into the right mindset about it. So I will be looking at some, I guess, common negative thoughts you might have around being single, and hopefully giving you some tools and solutions so that you can start to feel better about where you're at in your life today. Secondly, in our next chapter, it's all about getting practical on the problem. So if you are raring to go for 2021, then I'm going to give you a practical toolkit of some action steps you can take to really maximize your chances of meeting people. And in our final chapter, I'm going to be looking at that dreaded seasonal question, which is, so why are you still single then? I remember getting that quite a bit back in my single days and hating every single time somebody asked me that. So if you want to answer that question in a way that's really confident and empowering, I'm also going to help you to do that. We're going to finish off today, as usual, with a 30-minute live Q&A where I'll be answering your questions that you sent in. So if you haven't already, please send us your questions. You'll see a little box on this page where you can send your questions in to me directly. And as an added incentive, I want to remind you that for 2 people tonight, we will have 2 lucky winners chosen from people who have sent their questions in. For Match members, you're going to receive an online training program called Unite, taught by me. And if you're not already a member of our amazing Match community, then you will receive 6 months free membership at Match. And that is hopefully going to really get your new year off to a great start. I can also let you in on a bit of an insider secret that January is our busiest time here at Match. So even though it might not feel like it today, there isn't actually a better time to start to really work on your dating life, on how you feel about being single, and get ready for what is hopefully going to be a really positive and amazing new year for us all. So just to recap, it has been a tough year, but you are going to get to where you want to be. You're going to win in the end. Christmas is, in fact, a great time to re-energize you and refocus for the new year, which is good timing because early January is, in fact, the busiest time of year for dating apps. So it's good to get ready on that starting line to have a successful January. Okay, before I get started by looking at your mindset and a few ways that you can just start to feel really good about where you're at today, I've actually had some questions already sent in advance by some early birds. So I'm going to take a quick look at those questions. So someone writes, I have lost confidence after dating someone who didn't treat me nicely. How can I gain confidence to go back out dating again? I think we've all been here. And of course, I'm going to tell you that to remember that that one person who didn't treat you well doesn't represent every single person out there. In fact, what we have to do though is get you set up so you can remember that actually that dating experience is isolated. In order to really rebuild your confidence, I would suggest doing a couple of things. First of all, I think confidence and how we feel about dating is really related to competence, which is like how often we do things, how comfortable we feel when we're doing them. So if you've just had a big knockback, it's actually quite good for you to take very small little actions where you still feel quite safe, that enable you to kind of like dip your toe back in the pond of dating. So that might be that you spend a bit of time polishing up your profile. It could be that you start sending messages out. It could be that you have maybe a couple of video dates over this period. Anything that gives you a small positive action where you can really see how you're making progress is going to help to gradually build your confidence. Also, always remember it is totally okay with dating. Just go at your own pace. The right people for you are going to be more than willing to respect your boundaries and allow you time to develop that trust and connection to them. So hopefully that one experience, we can put that in the past, stay focused on your boundaries, go as slowly or as quickly as you want to do, and start to rebuild your confidence by taking these very small actions and wins. So the next question I've got here is, how can you tell if a guy really wants a genuine relationship from his profile? Well, I can say, if I could look at somebody's profile and tell you exactly what kind of relationship they were able to offer you, I'd probably be a very wealthy woman. So as much as we all want to know what someone is entirely about just from looking at their profile, unfortunately, what we always have to do is do the hard work of getting to know them. There's no profile in the world that will tell us the answers that we want to know. And sometimes, in fact, over-analyzing people's profiles or people's messages can sometimes even put us in the wrong direction of making good judgments around dating. So to go back to that, of course, there are some things in people's profiles that are good signals. So we really want to value people who put that time and effort into their profiles, who make time and effort to write and respond to your messages. These people at least are showing that from the starting line, they're really showing their commitment to dating as a process. However, when it comes to looking out for how commitment ready someone is, really that's always going to be a process of getting to know someone over a period of time. So as though it's really, really, really difficult, it's about staying present, as I said before, taking as long as you need to get to know someone, really enjoying the process and not rushing to make a decision about someone quickly. And actually by staying present and getting to know someone gradually, those are the best tools you can have to meet someone who wants that similar, meaningful connection and relationship as you do. So third question, how honest should I be with women about my past? Well, we all know that honesty is a really important quality when it comes to dating. However, I think we all, myself and everybody else included, every single one of us will probably have things in our past that we're not 100% happy with, or that we may feel need a bit of explanation to someone else. So first of all, I want to reassure you, I don't think you're probably that different to everybody else that's out there. Secondly, the right people will always appreciate you being open and upfront with them. So it's good to get those difficult conversations out of the way before your relationship becomes more intimate or becomes more involved. And remember, actually, if you have the courage to tell people about things in your past that maybe you're not 100% happy with, to have the humility to say, I would do things differently now, and to show that you've actually matured and have a plan for how you're changing, I think all of those things are quite attractive qualities. And I think the right person is going to be receptive to listening to that. And also one last point is also, whilst we want to get that information across before the relationship becomes too deep, I also want you to say that when you feel trust and you feel comfortable. So if it's something you want to be open about, that might well be best put across in a face-to-face conversation when you already begin to know and trust someone, rather than in a message online. Okay, so while we're talking about how open we should be and our mindset, let's take a look at our next chapter, which is all about how you can feel great being single.